Good morning, beautiful people. It's Wednesday morning, September 18th, and I want to talk to you about probably the most important issue that I talk about. It's diabetes, type 2 diabetes, adult onset diabetes. I've been diabetic for 18 years, or was a diabetic for 18 years. I was diagnosed in 2001 when I went into ketoacidosis for the first time. I took the diabetes education classes. I did what my doctor told me to do. I walked an hour a day. I ate a high protein, low fat diet. They told me things like fruit is the enemy. Fruit is like eating a candy bar. So I avoided fruit. I didn't eat fruit for 18 years. My diabetes kept getting worse. I had to take more and more insulin. You go back 4 months, I was taking 2 shots of insulin a day, 45 units in the morning, 15 at night, 60 units. I was taking metformin twice a day. I was taking glipizide twice a day. And my fasting blood sugar was still above 120. After meals, I was lucky if I could keep it under 200. And then I learned the truth, that diabetes is caused by insulin resistance, not that our body doesn't produce insulin. The truth is, a type 2 diabetic's body probably produces twice as much insulin as a regular person. But the problem is our body cannot absorb the insulin. Now, our body runs completely on glucose, blood sugar. Our cells, our muscles, our brains run completely on blood sugar, on glucose. But our cells can't absorb and use that glucose unless it has insulin. Insulin is the key that unlocks the door that allows your body to absorb it and actually put it to use. Now, the cause of insulin resistance is fat. Fat buildup in your bloodstream, excess fat. It coats those cells, it makes a barrier. It locks out the insulin. The insulin can no longer, open the door. It can't turn the key to allow your body to absorb the glucose in your bloodstream. So then the glucose has no choice but to stay in your blood, cause high blood sugar, and cause all the damage to your organs, to your arteries, kidney disease, blindness, diabetic neuropathy, nerve damage, cardiovascular disease, all those things that end up killing us. Well, when I found out the truth about that, I did something. I reduced my fat intake to about 15%, half of the 30% they recommend. I started eating a whole food plant-based diet. I started eating fruit for the first time in 18 years. And not just a little fruit, a lot of fruit. I mean, some days all I ate was fruit. 80% of my calories was coming from fruit. Guess what happened? My blood sugars dropped. My insulin resistance went away. My type 2 diabetes is gone. Within a month of adopting this lifestyle, my fasting blood sugar was down to the 80, 85. After meals, 120. And that was off of all diabetes medication. I no longer take insulin. I no longer take metformin. I no longer take glipizide. I no longer take anything for my diabetes. And I have the blood sugar of a perfectly normal, healthy person. And I eat tons of carbs. But I only eat real food. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, nuts. I don't eat meat. I keep my fat intake down to a minimum. And I've cured my diabetes. I am no longer diabetic. And, for years, I knew how I was going to die. Since that day in May of 2001, I could tell you, one day my kidneys are going to fail. I'm going to be put on dialysis. And then I'm going to suffer from cascading organ failure. My heart's going to stop and I'm going to die. Because that's how diabetics die. But it doesn't have to be that way. Type 2 diabetes is not a death sentence. It's not a chronic disease that you have to have for the rest of your life. And the key is not in medicine. It's not in weight loss surgery. The key is literally just what you eat, what you put in your body. It is so simple. That diabetics aren't told this information. The studies showing this go back to 1927. But you can't sell it. You can't charge somebody for telling them what to eat. There's no money to be made off of it. I guess that's the only reason that I can think of why we're not told the truth on this. Diabetes is not a death sentence. I've seen it kill too many aunts, uncles that didn't get to see their grandchildren born, that died blind, losing limbs. It's tragic. It's criminal that this happens. And I can tell you something, I'm not going out like that. I'm going to walk my daughters down the aisle. I'm going to see my grandkids be born, and God willing, I'm going to hold my great-grandkids too. You know what? For the first time in my life, I don't know how I'm going to die. Maybe I'll get hit by a bus. Maybe I'll fall off a cliff. Hell, I might even die of old age. But understand the truth. I'm including some links in this video on the cause of insulin resistance, the real cause of type 2 diabetes, and how to cure it. It's not a death sentence. The power is within you. Okay? I love you, beautiful people. You have a great day.